It's time we all talked about a serious problem in Monster Hunter World. And that problem? A lack of Glavenus. There are so many monsters with so little time, so little space in this game, it's honestly a big crime. Like in all these environments and all these cool places, we have a serious lack of seriously cool faces. These new monsters are fantastic, the movesets are nice, but I wouldn't mind a few monsters returning in the ice. Born expansion, especially ones with swords for tails, ones that turn red with frustration right before they make you fail. And with all the fun we've been having us, it's about the right time for Glavenus, so sit right down and let's discuss having the tip of his badass tail on us. Without further ado, and with plenty of time to savor it, let's talk about a monster who's surely a fan favorite.
Hello, my fellow hunters. This is excitement beyond excitement, because we are getting Glavenus.
NANI?!
Sorry to all you Rathians out there, but for everyone else, this is purely incredible. Because not only is he an amazing monster, I mean, he's a fucking tail sword T-Rex, but he comes from Generations Ultimate, a separate team-made anniversary special Monster Hunter with its sleuth of its own unique introduced monsters that really we had no reason to believe we'd ever see again, at least not in a world setting. And of course he's part of the Fated Four, and intrinsically they belong together, so are we gonna see Gammoth?
Yeah!
Astalos? Yeah! Mizutsune?
You're beautiful.
Or is it just the flagship of flagships that is Glavenus coming to the foray? Is this the proof that we need that the anniversary picture truly is a hint that all of them are coming? Because Glavenus is low down the list of likelies. He does not seem like the natural fit for this expansion on so many levels. So if he's on his way, Iceborne might turn out to be the most eclectic, star-studded, incredible Monster Hunter experience to date, rendered beautiful in world's aesthetic. And just the thought of that makes me need so many tissues. Be right back. So why the monster himself? Why should we care? Well, again, I don't know how many times I need to stress this, but I will stress it a lot. He has a tail for a sword. Wait, no, a sword for a tail. I suppose both work, and the fact is he does. And he heats it. He super heats it. He slices through flesh and armor, well, like a hot Glavenus tail through a hunter. And he has a completely unique style of fighting. He is incredibly agile, especially for a brute wyvern, and he is, to be said, arguably the most intelligent of the brute wyverns, and perhaps even the strongest, though, you know, Brachydios might like a little bit of a word there, but either way, he brings it. His onslaught is furious, huge sweeping scythe slams as his tail embeds itself into, ideally for him, you, but more often than not the ground as you desperately leap away and try your best not to be cleaved in twain. He can fire molten globs of lava that explode after a few seconds of pooling on the ground, and he can send flames spiraling out from his tail. He grinds his tail against his teeth to keep it sharp, and this creates a flurry of sparks, and it looks amazing. This is also how he warms up one of his most powerful moves, where he does this huge 360 just spin and completely decimates everything around him. He is the cutting wyvern for a reason, and his obsidian shell is nigh impenetrable to most weapons, at least lore-wise, if not really in-game, otherwise, you know, you might have a hard time killing him, but it is just fantastic. He's relentless, he's aggressive, he's one of the most intimidating monsters to learn, because initially it just seems like,
This is bullshit.
I don't get it. It hits me and there's so much damage dungeon he's never opened, and I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. And he does live in volcanic regions, so I presume we're going to get him on the Recess, and perhaps in the Wildspire Waste too, as he likes his hot little areas. But more than anything, he is one of, well, the newest non-world monsters. His design is very much above what we've known and seen. He is a complicated monster, a lot of spikes, a lot going on with him, based on a Carnotaurus specifically, and he really is going to be interesting to see how he is rendered real in world, because he is going to stand out compared to his brethren, and I am very fascinated to see how his ecology actually functions, to watch him wander around, to see his turf wars, because he should dominate most. He is an expert fighter, he lives for battle, he loves it, and while his biting is kind of lame, he doesn't need it when he's got, again, a superheated tail sword, and he has one of the most unique tail cuts in the game, because you just remove a shard of it that spins away and embeds itself into the ground for you to carve, because obviously he needs his tail to function, so you can't get rid of the entire thing, but it is very fun to send it careening all the same. He can jump around the place, he's got his huge weight to throw around, but the thing is, you spend most of your time fighting this guy, chasing after him, because he really does move a lot. He is a dance that is beautiful to learn, and you feel like an absolute badass when you master his moveset. I imagine his turf wars are going to be just ridiculous. I can see him guaranteed breaking parts left, right, and center as he sends his tail into, well, everything that comes across him, because he really does not like anyone on his territory. A brute wyvern that can bring its mighty tail down on foes like a massive sword, decimating them in an explosion of flames created from the volatile components found in its scales. If its tail dulls from the accumulated soot, Glavenus will use its fangs to resharpen it. And it swallows that soot, and that's what powers its internal furnace for its explosive lavery shots. It violently grinds the tail against the ground, which is what gives it the initial spark of heat, and overall, he's just a very toasty boy. I cannot wait to see how he ends up actually playing in World. I imagine it's going to be wonderful, but honestly, the biggest deal here is him simply being confirmed opens up, well, the door to everything, because I'm not joking, it really now feels, based on today's news, that when the Capcom dev team making Iceborne were asked what they planned to put in the game, they simply...
everything.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. I think I am okay with that. His equipment is lovely, it glows, it's really uniquely designed, it's got his twirling shell all through it, his weapons the same, the greatsword is one of my favorites, and I hope they don't get, air quotes, nerfed into just being kind of metal with Glavenus bits stuck on them, but from what we've seen so far, that probably isn't going to happen. So, all in all, this is very, very good for the game, and yeah, now I will just await with bated breath over literally anything happening, and I will no longer be surprised. I just won't be. So Glavenus is coming, guys. He is a lovely fight, and you should get very excited to face him. And I will see you soon. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more. A goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you, even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on, and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.